Hey guys, just finished Incursion 2 Raid. Uh, as you can see, I did the whole map uh, from here, every boss node, and I wanted to share my thoughts and what I used to beat it. As you see, I did a great score and we reached 60%, which is great. So let's go into what teams I used. So uh, Mystic nodes, I think maybe are even simable, although I feel a bit wary about Kestrel stopping summons from Loki for the sim. But it was very straightforward. I don't think that most people will have problem with uh, the Mystic nodes. So tech, I think this is the best positioning. I think it's stupid to have a rescue adjacent to Iron Man, and I see this all the time, especially facing people in War or Crucible. Uh, I also think this is a very simple node. This will be the most simple probably. Don't need a huge team to beat the first difficulty at least. And yeah, a mutant. Saw that many people have a problem. Like a lot of people in my alliance said that mutants were difficult, and if you see, like most people stuck in mutant, here mutant like couldn't get through. Let me see also here. Did they pass mutants? Yes, here they did. Great job. Uh, Here also two people stuck at mutant. And at bio, which is a bit like weird, not at the boss node for me. Here they didn't go through mutant, they went in the both sides, and then they got stuck in bio. And let's see here also one person got stuck in mutant. Well, maybe some people try to sim it, not very smart. And also here in bio, they got a mutant, but with so many attacks. So mutant, I one shot every node and I found it easy. The trick is to use a Apocalypse instead of a Magneto, because if you take a look at the nodes, did they leave a node here to see? I think here they left a node. Take a look. So here they spawn with rhinos, and also they are somewhat positioned the characters that you cannot blind everybody, but you have here rhino, which I don't really use, but we'll see. On blind, clear blind, and one random negative effects from self and its ally and fill speed bar for self by 75% or 100% if he has the D4. Okay, so that's one. Magneto, that's his stick, that's the thing that he does to help Death Seed. To open with blind, he's not useful besides that. He has an ability block, it's nice, rapid and slow, to turn. It's also unavoidable. Prolong some negative effects. Give them a little bit speed bar and that. But generally, I felt that because my Salok is kind of built, I have 3D force on her. This is not necessary. This is just very nice to have. This is mandatory. I felt that Psylocke is gonna provide more, and she did. So with all the evades she saved her allies, and with all the counters, it was easy to start getting kills and have Archangel get rolling and killing everybody. I also have a huge apocalypse that played a role definitely, but I did one shot every node. I got a bit scary. Uh, well, in the first node, my Dark Beast uh, dropped to like 10% life, so I'm guessing a couple of difficulties more. This will be the end of it. So it will be at least we had to heal more people. And in the boss node, I think I did a mistake, and I didn't. Do we have a boss node here to see? Here, I think it's somewhere. Also on the other side. I did it here. Alright. So here is the mutant boss. So you have these three people spawning in with immunity. So it's not really. Magneto doesn't really have a place yet, even if there's no Rhino in this node, which the other two it is. There is one. But I left this guy, Better Bill, alive for too long. I did focus on the other side because there were some easier kills, and he did an ultimate and killed basically everybody besides Archangel and Apocalypse. And but I already had killed almost half the node, so the Apocalypse and Archangel could clear it. I think that I had the opportunity to intermittently rewind him with Psylocke. Her ultimate does 25%, I think. Yes, I do speed bar by 25%. So I should probably have used that instead of using it on Captain Sam. Because he was very strong and killed most of my team. But had Apocalypse, he carried, Archangel did great. I'm thinking that mutants are gonna get replaced. The first two, like the Tech and the Bifrost, are very safe for this raid. Maybe Bifrost in the last difficulty, but I don't think so. Because they tried only Pegasus in their when they announced Incursion 2. I don't know if they did it on purpose. Like, let us know that Bifrost is going to be replaced. For now, they're very strong, and I'm pretty sure that at least for difficulty 2 or even for difficulty 3, they will go great. But mutants, I think they're gonna get replaced. Maybe they are gonna do something that allows us some theory crafting. Maybe like release a 3-person team, and we can add Apocalypse and Archangel with them. I think Apocalypse will still get a play in this raid, the raid Incursion 2. And I think like put red stars on him and make him a big boy if he hasn't already. I think big boy Apocalypse at least is mandatory to get through without too many heals. And as I've heard from my alliance mates that many got stuck or thought it was very difficult, I think it will be a problem if you don't have him built, and I don't think it's worth investing a lot in that. Yes, they're used in War and Crucible, and maybe they're not going away for the next 6 months. They're gonna be a strong team. Maybe they're not gonna get replaced immediately. I'm thinking like put a couple of levels on Archangel, maybe 1 or 2 on Dark Beast, and abandon the team. Let them be, and then build the next. Unless they make very great sense in Crucible, which I don't think they will because there's a lot of more important teams to use in Crucible and in War. Uh, so going forward, try first this team. Psylocke with counter attacks and Apocalypse counter attacking and dodges, so they stayed alive from the initial barrage with all the mystic people getting speed bar from uh, Death Pool. Uh, I think Psylocke, if you have her built a little bit, is the solution here. Uh, Maybe we're gonna get some play with Emma Frost or with a Rogue, but I don't personally in the difficulty, the base difficulty. I think this team is more than enough, and it's not really like hugely built. No Cargo G18. I don't have all the T4s on them. There's a couple of them missing. Uh, Not level 95. Okay, moving forward. The first two bio nodes were kinda easy. I didn't find them very difficult. Yes, there's like a Quicksilver there that is gonna potential, and also like a Nova starts with the attack. Let me see here, like here. Okay, here Nova may stun your Peggy Carter with Drum. I think he applies it also besides War. Let me see. Does he apply it besides War? Maybe. No, in War applies Drama. But still, yes, she loses her first turn. If so, I was liking not her good son, somebody else did. So you have him stunning people. You have a second node. You have the Quicksilver, which may attack 2 times in a row Peggy and maybe kill her. So it is a bit scary. But I did one-shot both of the nodes without, I think it didn't even need heals in between, or maybe I used a 20. It was very straightforward. I was actually surprised. I thought that you're gonna require a super scroll, which I think that first of all, Rebirth is gonna get replaced soon, maybe second. So you have them built for the Scourge, you have them built for war defense. You feel that this investment got some use, and then they get replaced. You also maybe like get annoyed from the nodes and from using heals on them, so maybe you're happy then when they are gonna bring out a new bio raid team, which I think I also thought about this that there are maybe gonna be with symbiotes. They said like symbiote surfer is gonna be released, and I think there's a movie coming out with Venom, so it got postponed, but still they're gonna probably, very likely, you don't know what they're gonna do, but very likely they're gonna rework some symbiotes. Maybe Agent Venom is gonna get a play in there. Who knows? Uh, I I'd like to have some plug and play, and I think Super Scroll is will be mandatory for the next, which I'm not close to unlocking. Not very far away. I think he's gonna get some play and will be mandatory for the next difficulties. But Age of Venom did surprisingly well, and this team did clear the first two nodes without too many problems. And but then on the boss node, and you see they're not even like very huge. Like nobody's G16, and I don't think that I'll bring anybody. Maybe I put a couple of levels on Peggy Carter and then abandon the team completely. That's most probably what I'm gonna do. And Peggy Carter will be useful in. I use her in Crucible. I use this team in Crucible defense, and and there will be a strong war defense, so they're gonna get some play from that. They're gonna also maybe be a bit more safe in raids, but they lost him for mutants and bio. I really think that in mutants, just people were used to incursion one, which they dominate, so they just start to see him because it doesn't make sense to me to how easily I beat them for everyone, most people in my alliance to lose attacks, and they probably have bigger teams than mine. Maybe not big apocalypse. Maybe he's like the Red Stars and he made a huge difference. I'm not denying it, but I think it's mostly like a smart play using Psylocke and not Magneto. Maybe they weren't familiar. Everybody were not familiar with a with cleanses from Rhino for Magneto's blinds. Let's see the bio boss node. Uh, so so yeah, with Black Cat, with the taunt, with the three attacks to beat it, but with different teams. So I did use a Rebirth. They didn't do great, but they cleared like one third of the node. And then when my Peggy died and I had only two of them alive with low speed bar, I quit because I thought I'm gonna revive them and use them again. I wanted to try Web Warriors and to see what uh, if they're gonna get some play in this raid, and they did surprisingly well, better than Rebirth in the boss node. They cleared more than a third, which was amazing. They killed many people, and wow. Was surprised. I'm not suggesting to build them up. They're gonna have a new bio team. I'm just saying if you have them built, use them in the boss nodes, and maybe we'll try next time them doing the first attack and then rebirth clearing. Maybe this will be more effective. I'm not very sure how it's gonna play out and where's the best solution. But they did very well and did push the node down to one third left, and then I went in with my gamma and took out the rest. Gamma did okay. The node does a lot of damage, so it's kind of risky that maybe your Red Hulk dies and then you have not many chances. But I beat it somewhat healthily. I think that I can manage to do it maybe next time with two attacks. We'll see. Maybe we have a little bit bigger Peggy. Maybe we're not so unlucky and we get to half the node and clear it up with Gamma. Or we try Web Warriors first and then clear it up with Rebirth. I also did quit for like with two or three Web Warriors alive and low speed bar and with two Rebirth alive because I didn't know if I'm gonna revive them or and use them again. Next time I'm gonna just let them die to pull a couple more of abilities and make the cleanup a lot easier because I wasn't sure if Gamma gonna cut it or how Web Warriors are gonna perform, so that's why I quit with Rebirth. Instead, I could pull some ultimates and have the node being a lot easier to clean up. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna be replaced. And this was the most difficult for me, the biome, but only the boss node. The first two weren't that crazy. Yes, it was a bit like shaky, the second node with Quicksilver, but uh, I did. They did surprisingly well. I thought they were gonna do a lot worse, both them and my skill. With skill, I did one shot all the nodes. I I did okay the first node. I was unlucky and they targeted Colson Iron Fist and he died. And but even with Fury Hills, I still managed to get through with the four of them kind of healthy. Uh, then did like a revive, like 50 heals. I think three 20s, but one of them was more than half life. Uh, that I healed, and one was like 95%, so I let him without the heal. And then got in the second node, beat it very healthily. I think I used zero heals or like 120 or something like one of 20, not 120. And then with the boss node, I thought I'm gonna get destroyed. Uh, and they did surprisingly well. I was very surprised considering Incursion 1. Here. Like here at the start that you have this guy Black Bolt that maybe is gonna permanently kill somebody, which was a bit scary. He cannot get revived afterwards. You had these two Spider-Man big times. You had many taunts. You had the ticking bomb, the boss, the the Thor Infinity War. You have two cleanses, four, like, there's a strong note. But yes, everybody dropped like to 20 to 30% health, and then they bounced back and they killed everybody. I had to put it like when I had the like only half the node cleared, and I had less than 2 minutes left, so I put it on auto, just did the targeting, and they finished very healthily. I think with full life even. So maybe I was a bit lucky. I didn't got targeted by the. Also, first note I didn't summon first because I think that's a death sentence with arcades, and I wasn't sure because I had enough Terminator ones for everybody, so maybe I could just still summon and destroy even with the special, without using the special from Fury first. But I think I also thought a bit that I needed the speed. Here I summoned, and here I summoned first turn. So they finished very healthily. It wasn't really that big of a problem. Uh, Surprisingly so, considering the how last node was in Incursion 1, where you have tech get destroyed all the time. I don't think I'm gonna build this team a lot. It would be nice if I had the Iron Fist, which I will get the 7th star, have him a bit bigger, so he's not gonna get killed. But besides that, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna get replaced, and say maybe like bio and because I think mutant people will find a solution with Big Boy Apocalypse. Everybody will have a Big Boy Apocalypse soon, or most people, and they'll find a lot more dark motion credits that are coming away, so you can at least put like the 5th red star on him at minimum. I think people will find a solution with mutants and get stuck in bio and skill. It's nice that we don't need to reach 100%, but this will be more the limiting factors to go further in the raids. And we're gonna have a new mutant team, a new bio team, and a new skill team sometime in the somewhat near future. I predict they will come, who knows. And I think the first two teams are safe. I don't think I'm gonna really invest anything in my uh, invaders forward. I'm also lucky that I pulled the from the Cosmic Crucible rewards a 3 diamond. Baki. He was helpful. He did some damage, but he wasn't by far the MVP. Other characters are more important than him. Uh, and I was also thinking what would happen if we use Kessel in there or Black Cat. We'll see if we just if I get unlucky and Odin gets stuck. Maybe we'll try them out in the boss especially, which other people will be able to help cleaning up. But for now, I think the invaders are good. They will probably stay as is. They're gonna put like one more star in the like Cap and Iron Fist, which I'm gonna get from the calendar. They're very close, both of them, to get the next star, and at 7 star, I think they're gonna stay as is. There's more chance I'm gonna bring Nick Fury into legendary. Will prefer to bring Doc Ock in there, but not a. This video is not about like DD6. So they're probably gonna stay as is. If I get frustrated and I think they're not they're like the 13 that get replaced, maybe I'm gonna put like a G18 on Iron Fist, Sonic Fury, because we don't have really great skill characters that a lot that you need a skill gear for. He only needs 2 pieces. Maybe it's gonna be nice to have some revives, and I don't know, but I think the my teams are gonna stay as is, especially Bio, that we're gonna have a Super Scroll coming. I think we won't have a problem, at least for the first difficulty. And I think the first 2 teams would be able to do easily the next couple of difficulties, like Incursion 2.1 and 2.2. Uh, without too much investment, maybe even as they are. But the next 3 nodes felt a bit scary to move up in difficulties, and I don't know for how much if it's worth it for somebody that's not it's not spending a lot of money on the game or not the top alliances to push the next difficulties. The rewards are not that much better. Uh, and may invest now in 3 teams that are gonna get replaced in the next months. Maybe just do the bare minimum, like put a couple of levels in Peggy, uh, or Cap if you haven't already. Put a couple of for Uncagel and make Apocalypse huge that you will get used from everywhere, and maybe a couple of levels on Dark Beasts. Maybe here in skill like Unique Fury and the Iron Fist, make them a bit bigger. We'll also try Black Cat and maybe Kethrel, especially people are putting a lot of diamonds on the hair. Maybe she will be a very nice solution for a couple of the nodes. We'll see about that, or like at least a cleanup team. Because there are some good characters, I also wanted to see if, like Secret Avengers, because people are bringing Captain Sam in the DD6, or where at least maybe they're gonna be useful at least for a cleanup. We'll see about skill, but these were my original thoughts after I did this. I think the next difficulties will be a lot harder for the 3 later last nodes, for the 3 last like teams, like sections with mutant, bio, and skill. And the last node was very nice. It's actually challenging because it was too easy, I think, as a big boss which everyone can hit. Yes, there is like Dormammu, and if you don't go in with Black Cat, which I didn't, you have so many revives, and it's maybe a timely node, but I went in with my Bifrost for a first try, and they did fell down to like 20% life, but then they healed back up and started killing a lot of people. So if you had enough time, or I don't know if it's worth putting them out, or maybe make a couple of attacks, stunts, or on like Red Hulk and Quicksilver, and then put it on auto. I don't think it will be very easily one-shotable. Maybe even try like Simit. I don't know if you have a little bit bigger Bifrost. And they ended up clearing more than half the node. Killed basically all the first wave, which is my main difficulty, and then I went in with a Bifrost and replaced a Kid Loki with Apocalypse, which I think was maybe a mistake because I had used his ultimate. I had his special seal up. He did well, but it would be at least the same using Kid Loki with all the counterattacks and what not. And I cleared it up very easily with some time left. So I think, and everybody very healthy. So maybe it needs like two attacks. Maybe it needs a little bit bigger teams, which is very nice. I think it was too easy the first try. Uh, I would also try the tech team, the Pegasus. Maybe they do quite as well. Uh, but I don't. I felt generally in the whole raid that like do we have like a clear no? Like the first nodes tech were easy. We went through like the first tech nodes were the first mystic nodes were easy. Tech nodes were almost easier. Uh, then mutants for me were easy. Maybe you need to try the team I used. Maybe you need the big apocalypse. Maybe I didn't get unlucky. I don't know, but I think it felt easy for me. Uh, and I think Apocalypse will still carry on to the next to Incursion Raids 2 at least will be even in the next team. Uh, I don't know about any Destiny members. Uh, Bio were manageable the first two nodes, but boss was the most difficult of the whole raid for me. It was nice using web warriors again and doing having them do something useful for my roster, and my big gamma did something good. So maybe like using your gamma, using your rebirth, having a couple of more people attacking with the same teams. I think the whole alliance can whittle this down. I didn't necessarily need to do 3 attacks there. And the skill nodes for me happen to be easy again, like the first two, or at least manageable, not easy, because I needed a couple of heals in between, and uh, I was afraid of the skill boss, but I actually one-shot it pretty healthily. So definitely the next difficulties will be a lot more challenging. Maybe if you get bad RNG, you need to reset a couple of nodes, like bio and skill, or heal your team up. I see that coming, and I see the boss, the final that everybody hits, that he has no requirements to need a couple of attacks. Difficult to be one-shotted, maybe with a big team seemed, but there's a lot of challenging characters here that gonna get revived. So maybe we're just gonna use Black Cat in the team and have Black Cat replacing somebody either in Pegasus or Bifrost. We'll see. That's it for now.